Hi everyone, welcome to the TAB Sport Rugby update, where we saw a pretty fantastic round last week, starting off with the Crusaders in Nelson. I was lucky enough to be down there. It was an emotionally charged game. Everyone got behind it, not just the people in Nelson, but the whole of New Zealand. They were red and black on the day, and the Crusaders, well, they did the trick for the country, and especially the people in Christchurch. The second game on Friday night was a bit of an upset. Everyone expected the Brumbies to beat the Reds, but the Reds came out firing. And you'd have to say, on the back of this try, if Quade Cooper plays well, the Reds play well. They look like they are back and going to be a force. I thought it was going to happen last week, but it didn't. I started to not like the Reds. The Lions against the Blues. Now, the Blues started off great guns with this fantastic try to Joe Rakathoko, set up by Isaiah Toiava, playing in his rightful position at fullback, I believe. Then they went off the boil a little bit, or was it the Carlos Spencer-inspired Lions backline who really started clicking? A fantastic try here to the number 8, set up by a rejuvenated Waylon Murray. I thought the Lions went really well, but the Blues brought on all the All Blacks in the second half, and they resurrected the game, rounded off nicely for a pretty good weekend by the New Zealand teams. Okay, so a quick look at the big bets for the weekend, and the biggest one that won, well, it was an $11,000 bet. It was only at $1.05, and it was on the Chiefs in their first home game and a win. It was at $1.05, which leads me to think it was halfway through the second half when the game looked all parcelled up. So not so brave, but a nice 5% return for about probably a 20-minute investment. We had $10,000 on the Crusaders at $1.50. That came on about half an hour before the game, so a nice $5,000 profit there. Not so lucky was the punter who had $10,000 on the Bulls to beat the Highlanders at $1.17. That went west, thank you very much, but we did need it to pay out all the Crusaders punters from the Friday night. And the last one, this was quite hard for the punter, $6,000 on the Stormers to lead half-time and full-time. No try in the first half. They went to the half-time break at 6-all, so unfortunately we kept that $6,000 as well. Round 4 of Super Rugby this week sees us kick off once again in Nelson, where the Crusaders play their home match against the Brumbies, and you've got to go 9 years till you can see an away side winning this one. And I think given the respective form of these two sides, you'd have to favour the Crusaders. Last week, as we saw in Nelson, they're a little bit scratchy to start off with, but boy, Robbie Fruin and Sonny Bill Williams just took the game by the scruff of the neck. Robbie Fruin with a fantastic intercept try, showed plenty of speed, and it really got the crowd into the game as well. I think they forgot about everything for an hour and a half and just enjoyed these tries. Sonny Bill also dotted down, but Robbie Fruin's second try, which came 2 minutes after his first one, showed strength, and it looked like then they were going to run away with it. The Waratahs didn't give up, but the Crusaders were just too good, and you just get the feeling that the Brumbies might be starting to implode a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, no coach, their captain was injured last week. I don't know if he's going to make it back this week. They just look like a team that might be in a little bit of trouble. The Highlanders, who would believe that they are top of the table? Well, they're top of the New Zealand table and they're equal top of the whole Super 15 table. And this time they go and play the Stormers, and the Stormers are at home. I find I have to pinch myself and find it hard to believe that the Highlanders are 3 from 3, but they are, and you have to think that they're going to be a chance. They're not favourites once again for the 4th week in a row. People in Dunedin are making a poultice of it, but with tries like these, it's hard to write them off. I thought there was going to be a forward-dominated game last week, but they've showed they've got some sparkle and some fire in their backs, and really you'd have to give them a huge chance against the Stormers. And the last game we're going to touch on is the Hurricanes returning to the fold. Massive clash here against the Chiefs. The Chiefs have found some form. The Hurricanes coming off a bye, and it is a massive clash. Tana Umaunga's team coming back to Wellington. It's 7:30 on Saturday night New Zealand time. It really is hard to pick a winner in this one. Masanga's try from the Chiefs last week, as you can see, just seemed to round out a fantastic game by them, and how teams finish is really important on how they start the following week, I reckon. There's going to be nothing in this one. I think the Hurricanes will take a while to warm to their task. The Chiefs will want to start big, fast and early. So look, for them to dominate early, the Hurricanes to claw their way back in, and not much in it at the end. Catch you next week.